Welcome to Hypnosis Health Info. I'm Roger Moore. Had an interesting conversation this morning on the ferry with a man that was asking me questions about the paleo diet, and he'd read some information on it and had heard about it and seen some products marketed as for the paleo diet, and he had this notion that it was something that was healthy and would be a good thing to do. And I explained to him that no, I've actually done quite a bit of research on it, and I've talked and written quite a bit about the paleo diet, and it's one of the latest fads and fad diets, and that not only is it false, because it's not how people have eaten since the beginning of mankind, it's also very unhealthy. And I referred him to an article that I had just read in the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine Breaking News on April 22nd, which is just one of many articles and information research that is out there about the harmful effects of the paleo diet. And this one is titled, Paleo Diet Leads to Worsening Cholesterol. It says the paleo diet worsens cholesterol levels according to a new study in the International Journal of Exercise Science. Researchers put 44 healthy adults on a paleo diet including lean meat, fish, eggs, nuts, fruits and vegetables, as well as on a circuit training program. After 10 weeks, the LDL, or bad cholesterol, increased by 12.5 milligrams and the total cholesterol by 10.1 milligrams. Triglycerides also increased slightly. The worst outcomes were seen among the subgroup that had been the healthiest before starting the diet. The authors noted that any improvements from the exercise program may be negated by the paleo diet. You know, it was just last week on May 1st that I had a blog post that was called Using Food as Preventive Medicine. And it was actually a post that an internist from Kaiser Permanente had written. And he said some pretty interesting things, and one of them was that after all, using medications to treat these chronic diseases, and he was talking about diabetes and hypertension and heart disease, only after they develop, often as a consequence of years of unhealthy diet and lifestyle choices, is like dealing with a leaky faucet by repeatedly mopping the floor. Medications can be effective, but I wanted to find an option to stop the leak, or better yet, prevent it from happening in the first place. Using a whole foods plant-based diet as part of the medical treatment has mostly been dismissed as an afterthought or a novelty. Yet medical research evidence of its benefits always has been there and continues to increase. Compelled by this evidence, I have begun to emphasize a nutritional approach with my patients. And then he goes on to say that the paradox of our times is that healthcare has become more expensive, while we as a nation to become sicker, not healthier. In fact, many people mistakenly assume that chronic illnesses such as hypertension, diabetes, and heart disease are inevitable as we get older. That's why I believe that a nutritional approach to preventing and treating chronic illnesses with a plant-based diet is simple, inexpensive, and effective idea whose time has come. Well, you can imagine my excitement when I read this internist post, his article, and was so excited to share it with my readers. And to me, it's just, that's an exciting thing to have happen, is where medical doctors, researchers are stepping out in front, leading the way, talking about a plant-based diet and how this is truly the healthy way to eat. And what we're talking about is starches. We're talking about eating grains and potatoes and beans and legumes and vegetables, and with a little bit of fruit along the way. But the bulk of your food, the bulk of your diet should be starches. All of your food should be plant-based, meaning that it was dug out of the earth, it was picked off a plant or a bush or out of a tree. And if man's taken it and sliced it and diced it and altered it and added words to it you can't pronounce, you don't want it. And if it's in a package with a label, you don't want it. And the foods you particularly also want to avoid are the chicken, fish, beef, pork products, as well as 100% all dairy products. It's the chicken, fish, beef, pork, it's the dairy products that make us fat and sick. So folks, I beg you, I urge you to read this article from last week from the internist and look at all the research and the evidence that is out there about plant-based eating and the importance of healthy nutrition that looks like food that God made, and the plant-based foods. And really focused on making your meals for yourself and for your family plant-based. And don't be worried about protein. You're going to get all the protein you need. Your kids that are athletes are going to get all the protein they need out of the grains and the vegetables. And nobody you know, unless they've had gastric bypass or have some other medical condition, nobody you know has a protein deficiency. And yes, all the vegetables and whole grains and fruit are complete proteins. So let go of all those old notions, those wives' tales, those myths, those stories you've heard about needing milk for calcium and needing meat for protein. You don't. You'll be fine with plant-based food. I'm Roger Moore, and this is Hypnosis Health Info.